then I'll give it a second. And then we'll come to another scene for Sept of the Red Branch Knights, where, in a very distinct and sudden change of pace, we will be painting in with kind of a little intro montage where there's that little screen cap played again, the little cut of Connor just avowing to Maeve that if she would just calm the fuck down, we could go to dinner. You know what? That sounds nice. Why don't we all go to dinner? Yes. Why don't you and your friends? We'll just come to dinner. Fast forward to Maeve having a moment. Just offering to Angela, kind of softballing it out there that this Connor guy did say something about her and some of her friends coming to dinner, and he offered to go to the Poseidon, and weird pseudo, technically not date night because they're not going by themselves, but practically achieved. Because of course the first person she talked to was Angela. And then fast forward to a good bit later where she kind of let it hang and then realized, Seamus is busy. Shit. Kian! And Kian was accosted with, by the way, we're going to a fancy dinner. You should bring someone. I'm bringing Angela. Cue the next, cut slash to, a very interesting little sidebar with Fiuk and Hannah bouncing in the background enthusiastically. And finally, we will end our series of slash cuts with this merry band, having gotten over to Brooks Rest, and probably all finally getting out of vehicles and whatnot and assembling outside of the Poseidon. Everybody made up all nice.
Ethan is outside the Poseidon in yet another 3-piece suit, but this is a shorter coat because it's a dinner jacket. And one of his many hats. He waves to you with a finely gloved hand, a little smile on his face.
And people do the wave because, you know what? Fuck it. Let's commit to actually enjoying ourselves. Let's commit to having fun and remembering we're alive. So, she's trying to sell it, even to herself. So, she does the wave and the smile and give Angela a hand squeeze and glance over to Kian as they're walking over, just the tendril thought, I didn't even think to ask if you even met Connor yet.
I had the pleasure, yes. No worries.
Oh, I'm glad you all could make it, Lady Macphion, Sir McNamara. And I don't believe I've had the pleasure of meeting either of you yet. I'm Connor Walsh.
Yeah, Angela just takes out her hand, shakes it firmly. Angela MacArthur.
Pleased to meet you.
And this little bundle of joy hands Maeve, of course, the flowers when they came. You know what I mean? Hands Connor, much the same thing. Little flower things here.
And thank you.
Hi, I am Hannah.
Lovely to meet you, Hannah.
Yeah, she gives us a little bright smile, interlocks her arms with Keen's like, this is my date. You know what I
mean? Not gonna lie, Maeve just tickled pink by it.
Kian has somewhat the aura of a big brother who's been forced to go to the little sister's imaginary tea party, and he just loves the conversation that Teddy is making.
So, shall we proceed?
What the fuck, Ross? Yeah, absolutely. We heard Angela. Oh, yeah.
Indeed.
And Connor will lead the way in.
Oh, yeah. You walk in. The Poseidon is much like the picture. It is very fancy. It's got the music playing much like in the side chat. It is, It's got the air of fanciness about it that's kind of, but at the same time, it's a very relaxed sort of vibe, too. another great example of how relaxed things are. It's got this very air of the sea about it. Like you imagine yourself sitting down like at a summer night here. Probably fits with probably the Mediterranean vibe of the whole thing. Really, it is. It's relaxing. It's almost like takes you aback a bit. Really, it's the subtle regalities of the place too, which kind of takes many aback. It strikes very much as a Silver Fang, but at the same time, it's like one that has settled far away from its original home and made peace here among the waves of Ireland, really, as you look out. And you can see the beach in the distance. So it's got this quiet, yet almost mysterious aura about it amidst its regality. And so you are greeted by Gabriel, who again, for Connor and Cian, oh yeah, Silver Fang, the pure breed. It's obvious, you know? But he's so relaxed. He's got smoothish skin. He's only about pure breed 3. He looks about in his mid-20s, but he's got a very gentle smile. He's very easygoing. And just, Lady Macfion. It has been too long since I have seen you amidst the garden.
It has been far too long since I've patronized your fine establishment.
And these are your guests, I assume?
She does gesture to, I mean, probably first and foremost to Connor, because in technicality, he is hosting the party, so she'll give a gesture to him first. Yes, this is Connor, actually. I didn't know if you've had a chance to meet yet, but he's fairly new, and this was exciting. A suggestion.
Ah, well, wonderful. He just gives us like, hello, sir. You know, it's that type of incline of the head. You know, it's very much the host is like in full swing.
Yeah, Connor will return it. He's not necessarily one of the people currently conversing, but he's been alluded to, so.
And, gives answer to Miss McCarthy. You know, she's like, hello, Gabriel. You know. And, gives a nod to Cian and a nod to Hannah, who tickles herself pink because he's pretty.
I was half expecting a spit. That's good.
Well, if Mr. Connor over here is arranging things, well, then we better get you all to your table. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. Quite a big one. You know, it does the woo. Do you know what I mean? For a second, looks a bit excited. You know what I mean? I shall lead you fine people this way. Will you be dining with the public or dining in the private? Kind of gives that little kind of arch of his eyebrows, you know?
Actually, I'm not sure that Connor knows the difference here.
Oh yeah,
So
it kind of gives that.
if-
It's a very subtle hint to you, like Connor, Cian, and Maeve. It's like, do you want to dine somewhere where you can be comfortable? Or do you want to try and blend in with the normal folk?
The private, if you would.
Oh, of course. Just kind of.
Yep.
And like these two servants, kind of just waiters or whatever, open up the back doors, and he's like, "Gentlemen, ladies," does the bow and everything.
Cian gives a nod, appreciative of at least the showmanship of the hosting.
Oh, yeah, it's very good showmanship.
Connor, for once, looks like he's a little more in his element as he proceeds through the doors.
Oh yeah,
Well.
This is what the picture I'm going to use here is what the back looks like, because this is where I figured you guys would most likely end up. So it's got an open sky, the grass is there, many tables, and it's just got an open air of relaxation about it. The doors close behind you, and you get the sense is that this is the area where the guru can relax, particularly our rooms, because there's no one around except kinfolk. It is the private room for private guests. This is the Atlantean room, I like to call it. After all, shrouded in mythology, I thought it was a fitting allegory for our kind.
Certainly love what you've done with it.
Oh, well. A man may have his clay and then build a plot of land and then build a house. And he has to lead many to where it's going. Now, he just gestures for this pretty long, deep kind of oakish table.
Yeah, Connor will go over to it.
Oh, yeah. The menus are handed out. You know, we need the servers with him are handing out the menus. He seems to just be overseeing things. And he'll point, the following guru are in residence, Lady Macfion, if you should wish. The Von Premonts and the Shillick. He'll point over to the table there, and you see Fiona, this lady, and your doctor buddy.
This lady.
Mm-hmm.
Is that Emma?
Yep.
Oh my god.
She's a silver fang.
She is. Damn. Woo.
The Von Premont.
And there is the MacTig.
Jazz music stops.
Oh yeah, Rory's done up in the suit and he looks swanky. Sonia looked, you know what? Sonia looks happy. Because he took her out. So they're at a table of two, and there is a current Fenrir, MacTig, and I believe one of the young new arrivals. Points.
After.
Hello.
That is an interesting party. Oh,
Hello.
wow.
That's an event.
You've got Faith, Steel, Viking. And you guys.
Oh.
And he's like, would you like me to keep you informed should any other Guru or notable kinfolk arrive, Lady Macfion?
Actually, I would really appreciate that.
Oh, but of course it is part of the service for the noble lady. Just gives the
Brilliant smile. She does. I mean, for all the world is as weird a thing as it is, she appreciates it and she's paying keen attention. Does glance to the tables and gesture.
Connor can pick up what the Silver Fang is doing. Maeve is pure breed 5. He is, of course, going to make sure that the Lady Macfion has every need attended to. It is Silver Fang etiquette, you know what I mean? He's not ignoring you guys, but priorities.
Well, Connor and the host are playing the same game, so well done, bruh.
Game recognizes game.
And should any of the rest of you need anything at all, please do. My staff are more than willing to cater to your every need. If you have any issues with meat, please inform me now, so that way I can prepare whatever I need to prepare for you, so there is no discomfort. Or any pre-existing condition that I need to take into account.
Kian will actually, but not in front of everybody, sort of as people are settling in and glasses being brought, just call the host's attention.
No, he just leans down very subtly, just very slowly, just eases down.
I will stick with the protein part of the meal. No need to bother with the rest, thank you.
Just gives the, of course. I'll make sure that all necessary comforts are provided. Just gives the the polite bow of
And
the head.
it's a polite bow back. I appreciate it.
It is my will to serve. And he eases back away. You know, they lay down some really, really beautiful looking, do you know that kind of salty bread that you see on some of the if you've ever been to the Italian restaurants or Greek restaurants, have these long kind of salted assortments of bread that you can dip into olive oil and other types of thing like that. Yeah, that kind of gets laid out in front of you guys.
Damn it, Tony, make me want to take the garlic cheese spread out of the freezer and put it in the oven.
There is, of course, people are handed the wine menu naturally because that's what you get to hand it. You know what I mean? And drinks are ordered, whatever you want if you're not interested in wine. But it's kind of like a nice flow to and fro there.
Yeah, and I mean, as far as all that goes, ordering and snacking and planning and whatnot, you know what? Maeve is curious because has Angela actually been here more frequently than she is? Because Maeve's only been here once.
Maeve's Angela's been here a couple of times. And Fiona. Magnessa.
Yeah. So she'll just be leaning over and conspiring happily with Angela. You know, you know what? Fuck it. She can make a date out of it.
You could totally do. What do
So-
you say?
Just the little lean over, the little. Have you been here more than once? 'Cause I haven't.
Oh yeah. Fiona and I used to do lunch dates here.
Yeah, there's a quirk of a smile. Then you know it's I should I'm sure it all, but what should I go for?
Try the gyros.
Oh, that is a good
Eight.
idea. Sure, go for it.
You're adorable.
Can't
It says it like that as that's mate.
Looking out, I
Or
can't
was it the tzatziki or something like that? It's like dip, but you get it with enough bread. That's a good starter.
Oh.
It's really nice.
All right.
As this is going on, I think I'm going to roll P&E for Kian to just check how Hannah is doing.
By
I'm
all
not
means.
letting that just run on its own. He's keeping his eye on her. Perception, and that is a 5 roll. 5d10s. Just 2.
Because it might affect me. Oh, come. Maeve has probably taken the flower and just tucked it up behind her ear for ease because that way she shouldn't have to hold it in her hands all the time.
Okay. For Raz, Hannah is in a world of color. She's kind of gazing around like, it's that whoa.
Mm.
You know what I mean? You can tell probably out of the personalities, this is why she's present because Jane would just blank face it, and Ashley would be too terrified. She is this is why she is at present at the minute. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because she is taking it all in like holy shit. Do you know what I mean? And she's also like reading the menu, like learning about like the various like things, picking up the wine list, reading them. She's taking the environment in. It's almost like she's taking in, assessing it, studying it, looking at the people, studying it. It's quite fascinating to watch her really because she's just tracking everything.
Yeah, Kian might actually get lost for a few moments. Looking at her, looking at everything.
And I will say the music I linked, that kind of guitar, like soft kind of Arabic kind of Southeast European style guitar is actually behind the play as well. If you're wondering what sort of music is going on in the background.
Mm.
And yes, so that's Hannah. So the starters come in, whatever you order. There is a mixture of look them up there. It's like what mentioned. There's gyros, there's all kofta, there's all sorts of like rich Mediterranean, but also rich Arabic foods as well. It's like a healthy mix of both. Lots of falafel too.
Mm.
But it is all raw. Keen's thing is specifically made raw food.
Yay. Don't look at me.
There's fish for that. So the starter course is there's like bits of fish. There is bits of it's hearty meat. There's some salads too, but a lot of it is meat based. Very rich. But all Keen stuff is served to him raw.
I imagine it's still plated like really classy like and
Yeah.
everything. So it's not like it stands out as like
No, it's just raw. You just notice the meat is raw. Everything else is it's done immaculately. No, they didn't just like slap a bunch of raw meat and just fire it at him. No, it's done to perfection. He's a silverback.
so as
Well, with this beautiful feast. Sorry.
go ahead.
As the meats have arrived, Kian grabs the wine, which has also been poured. Well, now this beautiful feast has been laid out. I'd like to take a moment to thank our host, Mr. Connor Walsh, for arranging this.
You're too kind.
Yeah, maybe I'll tip the glass just like, oh yes. with the little smile and the nod, like, oh, you, God help you, you made this happen.
It seemed only appropriate that I show some gratitude for some of the first faces to greet me here, my arrival.
You can only hope we make this good an impression on anyone in first introductions.
Does this all quite good? I am somewhat far from home.
But closer to it than you expect.
So I'm often told. Now, Hannah, I don't believe I've seen you about before.
Oh, I'm a ward of the MacTag.
Oh, they have a wonderful library.
Oh yeah, no, it's great.
Just for detail, Kian's fingers are doing the tap tap, tap tap, tap tap, tap tap on the table.
It's
She's like, here, Keen, you want to try something? Like, holds up like a piece of meat towards him, like, yeah. As they're while Connor's talking to her.
it's
He precipitates.
it's rare that I've seen any kind of library, for that matter, have such a near complete compilation of the works of Goethe. That's no insult to any other store or establishment. The man was just so prolific.
You haven't seen the Weird Towers one yet?
Unfortunately, no. But at the moment, I've yet to, how do I put this? Present anything of equal trading value, as it were.
And it's just looking over at Maeve, smirking. She just takes a sip of the wine.
I'm not gonna lie, Maeve's kind of smiling into her wine glass because it's one of those things where it's like, you clearly understand what you're dealing with when it comes to a library hoarded up by Theurges, because you just haven't even tried without something to bribe them with. Good man. I look forward to seeing should you ever decide you need a look inside their library. It is very interesting.
I may very well have to call on your wisdom first.
They seem very good at making these things case by case.
I trust in that much, but it doesn't hurt to have a guide.
I'd be more than happy. And an excuse to make another trip in is never a bad thing.
Lovely. Well, if I come on any particularly interesting tidbits or curios, I will let you know.
Fantastic. Sounds like a deal.
So, tell me, Hannah, what do you do by trade?
Oh, I'm between jobs at the minute due to like my travel situation and stuff. So, kind of enjoying the hospitality of the MacTags at the minute.
Oh, Fianna hospitality always is quite wonderful.
It is.
Now, while we're not directly acquainted, Angela, I have seen you.
I'll have you.
Indeed, considering I'm currently taking residence in your family's hall, I think it'd be hard not to.
Oh, you're. That's good. I'm glad you can see me. She sips.
Pleased to finally be able to make your acquaintance.
Oh yeah, no, pleasure's all mine.
Little like you're being mean. Come on.
Smirking as she's taking a drink.
Kian's looking at Maeve. This is her fault.
Oh, maybe like you're being so mean. What?
Grabs over like, what?
You keep cutting him off at the ankles, so he's not going to be able to stand up anymore.
He's fine. He's a big boy.
The smile. I mean, she thinks Angela's shit is absolutely just the most enjoyable thing in the world. So she's not like actually annoyed, just like.
Andra seems in good spirits, you know. She's just a very direct lady. She just doesn't waste any time with that pomp and circumstances Connor's noticing. Meanwhile, Hannah's just like,
Okay.
oh, yes, we're going to dance and this lovely talk and yay. Meanwhile, Hannah's just, what?
And was it? I think I actually did see you riding the other day. That chestnut, I believe.
Mm-hmm. It's me horse, aye.
Very strong, quite the jumper.
Oh, yeah. That's why I picked them. Like the feeling between my legs.
Connor sips his wine.
That's where there's finally the little like.
In perfect unison, Kian sips this wine as well.
He's just like, oh!
Hmm.
Oh.
With a whiff of heresy. Fuck it, I'll pee and eat, Rory, while this is going on.
Oh, go ahead. While Connor's chatting away, I'll give you your answer
Yeah.
after. While Connor's still chatting.
Like, oh, I just a little smirk out of Maeve. She tries so hard not to.
Do you not get like that feeling between your legs, Connor?
It's rather a different sensation, given the circumstance.
Oh, yeah. Give you your dangly bits.
Yes, those.
Yes. Oh, wow. Just gives a smile, a polite company, and all that.
I actually have been given a horse myself, a Mustang, if you believe it, named Margaret.
Oh, yeah. It's nice. A bit old, but nice.
Hardly be able to tell her age the way she runs.
Oh, yeah. Did notice she's the American half-breed, too.
All Mustangs inherently are, but they're still fine animals.
Oh, yeah. Smirking.
Staring.
I'm like looking at a picture of a Mustang right now. They big.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So many videos of people handling and taming down Mustangs. They can be kind of shortish. They can almost hit like pony shortness, but like they're so great.
Yeah, Hannah turned to Keen. Do you have a horse?
Keen will turn to Torna, who's standing behind the table.
Hello!
Do I have a horse?
As he's looking back at the end, she's like, no,
Yes,
see,
Steve
I'm not
Rad's in the middle of the table. Well, Keen, you have yet to choose your signature horse yet, but now that you're a knight, you can choose a specialist horse, like a war horse,
Oh.
or you can remain with one of the practice horses that you were given initially, or you can upgrade because you are a knight of a noble family.
Yes, I am.
But you can totally put that in your blue booking. You don't have to make the decision now. You can totally take the time. Do your research. You can include rules and everything, Keen. Oh.
Oh, if I don't... No, wait, I did take a dot. I haven't chosen one just yet.
Just gives a smile.
But I've started spending more time by the stables to get to know each one. It's not a choice to be taken lightly. That last Umbral horse saved my skin a fair few times.
Oh, that's good. And for Keen, you failed. You can't read nothing but the Magtag hatred.
I know.
She seems to be enjoying the fuck out of herself, though.
And that's because she's sitting with the back to Kian, so she hasn't seen
Yep.
him yet.
Yep. She's assuming Rory is looking right at her.
Oh no!
Meanwhile, as Connor is doing his best to swim these troubled waters. So, tell me, I know we're not all consumed with our work, but what are your interests?
Who, me or her?
Oh yeah, I should have established he's still talking, he's still trying to like carry on with Angela. Like, you're making this difficult, but I'm going to do this.
Oh,
Point for a
many.
penny in for a pound.
She gives a grin. I do glance over at Maeve. I do sewing, knitting, all that sort of stuff. Kind of into PR and all that. Do a lot of performing.
All right, Maeve nods enthusiastically along because she's seen some of the things that Angela's worked on, and ooh,
I did costume design in college and all that. So
Oh, the theater.
I
Predominantly classical productions, or
however the fuck I felt like, to be honest. Gives a grin. There was some modern shite, there was some Rocky Horror, there was some fancy Shakespeare, and there was some that just you got where you got your rocks off on.
oh, must be quite the experience working backstage. I'm told the actors can be a little tempestuous.
Aye, but you kick them in the cunny and they stop complaining after that. Or you just make the dress super tight so they can't breathe.
That certainly would cut off the source of complaint.
Exactly.
Maeve is back to pretending really hard she's not snickering off the
Fucking Connor's still paddling along, like, nope, no one here is going to save me.
Fiji, this is delightful. Why
So
would
you
make
mentioned Gove.
Oh, yes.
Kian feels his pain and this cannot go on any longer.
Meanwhile, Hannah's like, I like golf.
And
Yeah,
her
he,
turns.
It's a game of patience and opportunity.
I see what happened here, but Connor's going to roll with it. Yeah. I myself spend a lot of time on the green, but I have to admit I struggle to maintain even a respectable handicap.
She nods. You should try tennis. It's much more aggressive. Get to scream at people while you're about to throw the ball up in the air. You can scare the crap out of them. And I'm just like, she gets it.
Yes, I have a sister that's rather about that sport.
Oh,
In which Connor reveals he has a sister.
Really?
Oh, yes, she was rather competitive about it in her school days. I think, she actually managed to get to the top of her district, went about the counties. Did not make national, sadly. It was, it's definitely a hard blow, but I encourage her to keep at it.
I suppose she's back at home.
Yes, I, the only member of my family to have made the proverbial swim, as it were. Given the situation and being called as a matter of duty, it was the decision of my betters that I should traverse the matter alone.
Oh, that's a shame.
I miss them dearly, but they're only so far away.
bubble. Okay, fair.
Well, I know that Sir McNamara has family at hand, but what of you, Lady Macfion?
My parents found south.
Oh,
Sadly, they weren't able to come, right with me when I did, but they've made their way here, and it feels even more like home than it did before, having them close.
I trust they're settling in well.
They do seem to very much be enjoying themselves. I think they must have missed it. I know they immigrated before I was born, and coming home, you can tell they're happier.
Well, Book's Rest is rather idyllic. I've had the time to walk the grounds, as it were. It's definitely a picturesque place.
It does at times seem very removed from the harsher world around. All the more reason to protect it.
Oh, and the manners in and of themselves. I have to admit, I had just coming on to the Sept. First place I saw, McCarthy Manor, standing before me, this piece of immense history. I nearly stopped walking altogether, forgot myself.
I mean, that's kind of the idea. And just as she picks up a glass, taking a swig.
And a well-realized one at that.
Oh, well. Glad you managed to get your knickers in this West.
It is a proud statue of heritage.
Well, of course it is. It's ours. Does the little duh, do you know what I mean, expression on her face?
Pokes her tongue out at her. I still haven't gotten mine untwisted.
Yeah, but I twist yours for you.
Connor
Maeve-
hides his face behind his wine glass.
Oh, we're just saying, okay. Oh, completely catches her off. It's amazing. Not bad, just oh.
At this point, I imagine Connor and Kian have gone through their first glass, like,
Glass. Get your next bottle, old man. We're in it for the long haul.
He's like,
The
oh, wine?
sound of a cork.
What, wine? Wine? Do you know what I mean?
They just look away for 2 seconds. Kian slides under the table.
But it just sparks. Like, yeah, that's right. Looks at the table. Like, with that, yeah, I fucking said it. Do you know what I mean?
She just gets the McNamara cold eyes
oh.
as he takes a sip.
Now, I didn't
A long
want to
sip.
make any presumptions, but however did the two of you meet?
Wait, I just looks over at Maeve with that kind of, like, if she puts some food in her mouth, kind of the slow chew, like, do you want to answer or will I answer? It's that type of look.
We're going to get the Maeve version or the Angela version.
I kind of want to answer.
You will hear that in the back. Like, don't let her answer that.
Why not? I love the way she says things.
That is wonderful and to be appreciated and treasured. But I implore you, Lady Macfion, please answer Mr. Conroy Walsh's question.
Fucking thing flashed red. Fucking boss in a game. It was like no red in the back again. I just lost my shit.
Sorry, I stopped thinking around.
Yes. yes. Oh my god. No, Maeve. No, Maeve is having too much fun with this. Besides, she thinks Angela's fucking delightful. What could they possibly have an issue with right now?
I'm just
It's the tacit permission. I'm like, oh no, you're good. I'm gonna nibble on this.
well, met at a party. Maeve here was dancing her beaties away. I liked what I saw, so I went and claimed it with me teeth. I won't spare you the details of what I did with me tongue next.
Well,
She just eye fucks the shit out of the kid. Like, yeah, that's right. Do you know what I mean?
that is bold but definitively passionate.
Well, of course. I'm a McCarthy. What else would I other be?
Well said.
You know what? Out of curiosity, I know how the boys are doing. How's Hannah doing? I feel like Hannah.
Hannah's just kind of just like, yeah, she's just like. Do you know what I mean? She's
Kieran
mad
just
at
sips
a
an
few
entire
times.
bottle of wine in one go.
She leans over. Vika's nowhere near this much fun, only when she's around. But you should see the two of them together, Kian. They're very funny.
They are delightful.
I have no reason to doubt.
I just was like, yeah, there's no fucking reason. Do you know what I mean? But
How did you
Nope.
enjoy your food, Hannah?
it was really nice. Did you enjoy it?
Looking at the blood still piling on. No.
This fish was really good, certainly a distinctive fish smell. Just like,
There's just that. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh.
No, it was an excellent meal.
Oh, Lady Macfound, you've been here far longer than I have. By quite a wide margin.
Sure.
Have you had a chance to treat with or serve alongside the Von Primalts?
Of course.
I ask simply because they are quite the respected name in House Gleaming Eye.
Of course they are. No, I've on some of the first days I was here, I ended up talking to to Fiona, to admittedly mostly to the man that's now her alpha, Albert. But yeah, I've been talking to mostly Fiona for a while now.
I see. Let me tell you, where I was at Copper Door, the tales and exploits of Hector von Priemont were practically required learning. So to hear that some of his relations are here, this sept, it's heartening.
So they are. She's a fantastic galliard.
I'd expect no less.
It's definitely, it's something seeing that kind of passion in one of the Silverfangs. Same sort of thing I see from all of my own tribe.
Well, I am a Fianna, and I'm most certainly of Fianna blood. It is most certainly of interest to me, considering that the Walshes, or my wing of the Walshes, have a tertiary relation to the house. My father married, I say recently, but what is recent in subjective terms? Some years ago, married Ava Mueller.
Yeah, there's just kind of a, she doesn't know all these fucking surnames.
And just leans
Does
over.
Kian?
Angela, I'll give intelligence academics.
Yes.
Angela lean over, whisper in clear. They did it by working the shaft, Maeve. Just a little gesture under the table.
The hilarious part is that she actually leans in a little bit like, oh, sweet, maybe Angela knows and she'll just tip me off. And that is what she gets instead. The glance of, the most loving, like, oh, you're terrible glance.
That's 3 successes.
Big relations in Copper Door. Your family would have had original dealing with them years ago through relations and like stuff like that. But a lot of Silverfang, a lot of Fianna over in England do a lot of dealings with them. Not as much in Ireland as much, but a lot of the English side, English Fianna, the Britannic Fianna, like the Welsh, and the English, the Southern English especially. McCarthy's would have dealt through them through their ties to Silver Tara, which is the capital. So where the McCarthy's come from.
Ian nods approvingly to what Connor has said. That is certainly a good and well-spread family.
Huh. My father and I certainly like to think so, but don't let grandmother know you think that. He has a little, like, to himself, like he said something that'd be funny under some alien circumstance.
Kian will at least be kind enough to do the sipping his mouth shut gesture.
Han just nods like, oh, okay. Do you know what I mean? Sip.
I must say, Hannah, that was an absolutely lovely arrangement of flowers you picked.
Oh. Well, thank you.
You certainly seem versed in the formal language of flowers. Do you have an interest in botany?
Kind of things looking up like at the ceiling, like, do I? Oh, yes. No, my sister does. So she kind of gave me the little, I kind of cheated a bit.
Oh, it's hardly cheating to call in the help of family.
Oh, yeah, no, I mean, she just gave me the basics of what I could look for.
Spark of a smile over. Have you ever had a chance to hang out with Una?
Yeah, of course. I see Nula every day.
Una.
Oh, Una, no. It's about Nula. No, the O'Howans, I don't really get much access to them. Not since the, the whole big wedding thing, everybody's become,
Yeah, it's kind of a whole big thing, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
You should tell your sister the flowers were lovely.
I'll be sure to. She'll be very happy you said that. She glances over with a bright smile.
There's a bit of a softening. It's not a smile. Because again, Kian can't smile unless I say so.
It's a creepy stare.
At the very least, Maeve will not agreement, but she's not going to take that statement away from him.
But for all intents and purposes, Kian does seem to be relatively relaxed whenever Angela isn't talking.
That loud woman.
So, while people are, kind of carrying on conversation with each other, like he started the pinball, but the pinball's bouncing right now. He is going to just do a quick perception empathy scan towards the other guru-oriented tables that were pointed out to Maeve, and he just got to soak up by proxy.
Okay.
All right, let me roll my bones. Score of 3.
So the MacTags are keeping an eye on the your table, mainly probably as you think is because of she did mention she's a ward. You know what I mean?
Makes sense.
But the Rory definitely is, but both seem to be enjoying themselves well. She seems to be relieved to actually out and about. It's kind of like it, you pick up that vibe. It's a couple just enjoying themselves, but Rory definitely is keeping an eye on things. This table has kind of been an interesting fucking mix and match. Are getting on well. This lady is making a bit more of an impression than you would think. Particularly with Halfdan and Magna. The MacTiger lady is also holding her own as well. It's kind of an interesting talk about various things. It seems to be very productive. They're chatting. You can kind of pick up they're obviously discussing issues about the various elements on set, but also doing it in kind of a productive way. Like they're trying to get things done. They're trying to be proactive, but at the same time they're listening to stories. It's a very hearty conversation. The Silverfangs. Well, you've been around Silverfangs. They always display the veneer and the vernacular, but you can tell that's two houses doing business. That is the Gleaming Eye and Crescent Moon negotiating.
Ah, yes, nothing he would want to be in the middle of, though. Like,
But it doesn't seem like hostile. It seems like two allies just sitting down and just going over the particulars.
oh my god, is that Emma in the center?
Yes,
Huh. Oh.
yes, that is Emma.
All right, no more hooting from me.
Oh,
Connor has his own family ties, so he's inherently rooting for House Gleaming Eye. But they don't even know who he is. He's certainly not going to go over there and interject.
but to you, Connor, it seems like it's definitely not a hostile negotiation. It's just two allies sitting over a table at dinner and just going through some matters of business. It's very quick, very easy. You can tell it's probably revolving around this girl because you can tell kinfolk. That's a guru. That's another probably representative. Could be kinfolk, could be guru, but they're making sure certain matters are arranged. You can just pick up the vibe. But it's done with a very amicable and very nice. Fiona seems to be really, this girl here seems to be really getting on with this guy. They seem to have a very amicable relationship.
Most interesting. But he's at a table with other people. So, Lady Macfion, I can't have helped but notice the other morning that you are quite the hand with a spear.
Oh, that is all due credit to Christopher McNamara. I've been training under him for a while now.
Ah, I see. I heard tell that he was recently promoted.
You was like, oh, she's so excited about it. So excited for Chris. Yeah, the sparkly eyes and everything. Just he was. Absolutely was.
Excellent. I've rarely taken up pole arms myself. As you can tell, when you're as wide-shouldered as me, it can become a bit of a task.
Oh, I've admittedly I wasn't brought up here, but I had, everything my parents brought with them and plenty of stories, and I don't know, the image of the spirits, I like it. And working with one, it gives me some much needed range, and it's a very adaptable weapon. I find I rather like it.
Very bound to the legends and histories of the land. Fine choice.
Mm-hmm.
I admit in my youth, what young man doesn't see certain things and hear of tales and think that they'll be the one to pull the next sword from a stone?
If
Okay.
I'm aware of your family's situation, it does seem that you have managed to pull a sword from a stone.
Perhaps. Time will tell. I've certainly made Tarv's acquaintance.
Everyone does.
Very focused and dedicated. That, and he probably unconsciously rubs at the corner of his jaw a little bit.
Torna, just a quick question, so I'm not using the wrong vernacular here. I
Mhm.
know Fiona have a thing with metas. Would it be out of character to even refer to
It
Tarf as it? Yeah, okay.
it
It is, yeah.
Tarv is considered what the Fian terms, he does his job. He is
Yes, makes sense.
he is your rank, he's a fosterman, which is rare, but it's easy to see why. He serves one purpose, training. And he does it immaculately. He was still a filthy menace, but he's a filthy menace who does his fucking job.
It fulfills its duties well.
Sip.
Yeah. Everybody drink.
There's no vitriol when he says that, though.
I mean,
Not that there's any
I
real
wouldn't
inflection on his
expect it
voice,
from
usually.
Kian.
Not that there's any inflection ever.
Yeah, Kian seems to have two speeds: dead and Kylo Ren screaming.
Crawley. Sorry.
Baskin. Yeah.
The risk of taking the conversation back a step. Don't worry.
Oh yeah, because Anja, you see Anja, because I love talking about menace at dinner time. She just takes another like hefty swig of the wine.
Gives her a little pat on the shoulder because exactly. I promise it wasn't just the lads. I went on many fine quests in search of Excalibur when I was little.
Back
The
in
neighbors had to help me out.
back on the farm in America, yes.
Mm,
What all did you cultivate?
it wasn't as large as you'd think. It was a family garden. It was enough to do, the usual stuff. It was corn, green beans, butter beans, squash, zucchini. We had strawberries. We even had some wild grapes. And it was, we grew enough for ourselves, enough to can or to jar, stored it up, traded with the neighbors, had the chickens for eggs. Dad was always going on about how it was a shame there wasn't much room for sheep. But getting a large enough property for that out in New York was, unless we went to upstate, was almost impossible. So. No, it was a respectably sized farm. We had a nice chunk of woods that thankfully stayed just woods, so I could run through them when I was little.
Oh, and certainly a respectable trade, cultivating the land, making things grow. There's a certain romance to it.
Mm. Oh, you should hear my dad. He's thrilled that there's. You never could get an orchard to really stick. But he's gotten to talking about apples. We did have apple trees, and we did take loving care of them, but they were all volunteers, weren't exactly the bought and carefully nursed nonsense. No, they were just wild apple trees. He did love those. And I loved climbing them and getting stuck in them.
In your father's defense, orchards in their most nascent stages are very tempestuous things. It takes generations to make them truly reliable.
Mm-hmm. But no, it was enough then to have a good family farm, more than enough to grow what we needed. Stay mostly off the grid, not utterly, of course, but it meant we could keep to our neighbors and ourselves and actually enjoy the people we were around instead of constantly running into the city for every little thing we needed.
Mm-hmm.
And between that, the woods, we had a place there for our seasonal celebrations, which I took a long time to realize we're not what everyone else was doing. We're not on Christmas level for all the other kids in the neighborhood. I don't know. All in all, it was very good for a very long time, and I have found numerous stones that I've decided once held Excalibur. I have found many a fine fairy ring.
Oh, I'm afraid that my upbringing was far less rustic. I spent a lot of my youthful years in London. Not as much water, no grass, but something was always happening.
I feel like it would almost be strange to actually see London as it is now, after seeing it the way it's depicted in movies for so long. 'Cause it can't actually be like that anymore, but kind of.
There
It's
are
really easy
plenty.
to fall in love with the way places used to be.
There are plenty of tourists who fell in exactly that kind of love and went looking. I assure you. And sadly, yes, we can't always harness the past in that fashion, but some of it does in fact stand. Certain respect for tradition, you see.
Can't lie, it's one of the things I love about the South so much. You can still see the
Indeed.
roots.
Absolutely. You know, when I was first approaching, I got caught up in the exact wrong end. But still, the structure stood. Then again, after my quick introduction to the train system, you could hardly blame me.
Oh, I've heard it's atrocious.
Atrocious isn't the word. Once you lay a track, you can't unlay it. It just happened to be that I seemed to be going north, south, north again, west, east, and then finally west again. Was a bit of an all-day affair. I say, I don't think I've ever consumed that many sandwiches in one sitting in my life. But like clockwork, the trolley came by, and I was asked if I wanted one, and seemed hardly polite to decline, so one sandwich after another I made my way towards here.
It's a bit amusing, odd.
That and what had to have at least been 3 gallons worth of tea.
Hmm.
So, you all have been here far longer than me. Do you have any favorite places in Bucharest, particular businesses, or just areas you like to walk? I've been eagerly exploring, but it's still a large place for one man.
Maybe we'll get to chewing our lip thoughtfully. I admit I do really love the beach this year. It's completely different. And it's not that far to the beach from Bucharest. There's also the Irwins when it opens again. Have a bakery. It's fantastic.
Oh, yes, I did see that it was closed. I'd been meaning to come back about in case I'd missed their hours, but apparently it's something of an extended thing. Ah,
And it's
Just as well. I'll probably be by again at some point. Hopefully, fortunes differ the next time around.
She'll bob her head because she don't want to bring that whole topic to the dinner table. But
Connor has no idea, and you can tell.
yeah, there's the careful like non-answer, and then just the nod of like, yeah.
What topic up brought? Sorry.
She mentioned the Irwin's Bakery, which I imagine has been closed lately as
Yep.
they're going through all that. So it's she said once it is open, they do have a wonderful bakery here because he was asking about places in Brooks Rest. So once it opens, he should absolutely go there, give it a look.
Can I check what she's looking at, Torna?
Totally. People have come in.
Do these people have faces and names?
Oh,
Oh,
Damn.
Look at that hair.
damn! Stupid, sexy damn. I'm glad
Just
that.
we just get the music.
Oh boy, what is this? I don't know why I wasn't expecting it. I should have known better.
Oh yeah, I mean, him and Fiona cut an impressive figure together with their combined Pure Breed 5. That's Pure Breed 10 walking in.
Oh,
It's hard to see why Hannah just is like, oh.
his big sparkly eyes.
She's watching the other people as well. She's kind of watching over at, she gives a wave over at Rory as well. She's watching the Silverfangs. The Silverfangs immediately turn to see the Mac Nessa. These guys kind of glance over. Eve rolls her eyes because, of course. Oh, Angela brightens up seeing it's Fiona. Like, oh, finally. Do you know what I mean?
And Connor de Maeve, I imagine he will eventually see where everybody's looking.
Oh yeah. If
I-
Angela brightens up, there will be a glance. There'll be a little wave if there's the opportunity.
Oh, they can't see you yet. They're chatting to Gabriel because the
Okay.
Gabriel is like, oh, just flying forward.
Mike! I say, Lady Macfion, is that who I think it is?
I assume so.
The young lion himself.
Mhm.
Oh my.
What is
We'd
this?
been hearing about him even before I came.
Really?
Oh,
Objection.
yes.
Leans in. What have you been hearing?
The gallant son of the Rye, taking up the chains of command, leading cavalry charges with a burning sword.
Oh, oh, Connor, she seems so happy that word is traveling. This big old sparkly eyed, just absolutely charmed that where he
Okay,
came from hearing about it.
This may be rude, but do bear with me. I am dying with curiosity.
Mhm.
Does his blade literally light a blaze?
It did last, didn't it? Holy shit.
The entire of Children's Oak weapons went on fire.
He and his pack. Blazing weapons.
The twin blade as well.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my.
There's something to see.
I envy you. I do.
Well, don't you count yourself out. She does glance over to see how they're progressing. There will be more, and you'll see it.
They're stopping over to the MacTiges initially. They're greeting. They're doing what royal children do. They're greeting the room. So they stop over to MacTiges, and of course, Rory gives a respectful nod. And Sonia immediately is up and kisses both of Fiona's cheeks. You know, it's a firm handshake between Rory and Daniel. It's one of definite respect. Like in Rory's eyes, Daniel has proved himself, so he will get the respect he deserves. You know,
No.
he's no longer a pup anymore. He's a man.
Just dies of proud.
I
But
need to
for-
turn off sexy back.
But for the room, Fiona's smile is. I'll put that as like pure breed 9, like appearance wise. Like appearance wise, she's 9. Like even for Keen, this cold hearted Keen, that smile. Whew.
No, don't worry. I'm popping a stiffy as well.
Don't worry, I'm aroused. But it's not even that. She's not like trying to be a sexy alluring. It's pleasant. It's like
That's
a
where you're
calming-
wrong, Torda.
Ah.
Because regality is sexy to Kian.
Oh well, then there you go. She's the sexiest woman alive, right there.
Yeah. Oh, tell me you have 12 titles.
Ugh.
Yeah.
And after a
He
brief
is
chat with the
suitably
Mac,
impressed.
after a brief chat with the MacTyke, they seem to me immediately coming over. Where you can see like Daniel immediately clamps half down like a proper. You know what I mean? Of course, Fiona says hello to they just seem to be going from table to table, taking the time. Eve MacTyke looks politely unimpressed. There you go.
I was about to ask.
She's playing a role very well, Maeve.
Yeah. Even enlightened as she is, it's just she gets one look at that like just polite bitch face, and it's just like, oh, Jesus. There's maybe we'll at least attempt to rekindle some conversation, so we're not all just flat rocking as they go table to table.
Meanwhile, Hannah will lean over. You know those two, don't you?
Of course,
And Kian,
I've
she
no idea.
leaning to me or to Maeve?
Both.
Oh. Yeah, Kian nods.
Andrew's like, oh yeah, no, they've known him longer than me. Just that eye roll in the background, that like, oh yeah, no, they've totally known. It's not like I grew up with them or anything.
We'll just pick up her hand, like has probably been holding it, picks up and just kisses the back of it, like, oh, honey, come on.
Meanwhile, Hannah's like, sorry. You know what I mean?
He quickly shakes his head. Don't apologize. No worries.
I met Fiona about the same time I met Angela, actually.
Oh yeah, took you out.
Yes, you did. Which was something desperately needed. You were
Was.
quite
But no, you met Daniel MacSexy over there. Before you met me and his sister. Yeah, and she calls him Daniel MacSexy.
Eyes on how Connor handles that. Just swirl
Connor
that
has
head
been
over.
drinking a lot tonight. And drinks, that is Connor's go-to move, is I'm going to buy more alcohol and you can't see my face while I do it.
And eventually, the MacNessas approach.
Well,
They do.
Connor knows his place as the bottom of the food chain. If royalty approaches, you do not receive them seated.
Who's getting up first? Who would it be?
You know what? I'll let Connor with his etiquette score be the one that snaps up before everyone else. I think
Yup.
that way.
I mean, to be fair, he does it slowly enough that at least other people can take their fucking cues off him if they so desire. So he won't be embarrassing either of the two of you as a result.
Yeah, okay, and we'll take on his lead and we'll offer a hand for Hannah.
Oh yeah, Hannah eases up all excited, like, oh my god. Do you know what I mean? And Andrew just lounges back. Meanwhile, Daniel's like, please don't. Yeah, does that like, oh, guys. Do you know what I mean? Enjoy your meal. I'm just coming over to say hello. Relax. There's no need to give me the oaths of loyalty here. Please be seated.
Connor will sit back down.
Yeah, clamps Keen on the shoulder and looks around the table. I hope you all are having a good evening.
Absolutely.
Yeah, looks down at
Refreshing
Keen
change
like,
of scenery, Ryle.
well, it's good to see you out and about, Lord McNamara. Gives a little hand squeeze at the shoulder.
It's just
Fighting to smile.
yeah. How do I roll to hide my smile? He doesn't.
Clamps is there then.
Subterfuge.
Yeah. You know what? Actually, I will. I will roll. I will roll appearance subterfuge, or is it manipulation subterfuge?
Manipulation. Don't forget your pure breed.
I've forgotten my pure breed. I need to check it.
It's 4.
Jeez. I
It's a
keep
fuck
forgetting I'm
ton.
4. I keep thinking I'm 3.
This one
worry.
fuck ton.
2, 4,
Roll
8.
against you. Beautiful. So Keen does his best to that man.
He is-
back to Mara.
Yeah.
And you know, as Daniel moves by to say hello to the next person, Fiona will lean into Keen. I saw that. She does the wink as she's moving past over towards Maeve and Angela.
He looks abashed.
Like it's just a little playful. I saw that.
Yeah, he takes another sip from the drink, but it's in good jest, but slightly embarrassed.
She just like it's that smile she gives you as well, Keen. She's
Yes.
like, But immediately they say hello to Hannah, who nearly faints on top of Keen because they greet her by name.
What name?
And Hannah.
Oh.
Ooh.
Oh.
Oh yes.
They're on the up and up. Very well.
It's almost like somebody asked Rory, what do I call her?
You fucking champion. Oh.
And they will then turn to Connor. Like Daniel will turn to Connor first while with Fiona's skirting around. I'll get to Fiona in a second. I don't believe I've met you yet, but I'm assuming if you're in the presence of both Lord McNamara and Lady MacFionn, you must be of good enough quality.
I'm a new arrival, Raya.
Ah, excellent.
Yes, Connor Walsh, Cleatha Frank, Maroon of the Fianna tribe.
Well, it's good to have you here.
I'm honored to be here.
Well, may you serve well, and may you serve honorably. You just pat your shoulder as he's moving past. And Fiona will scoot over, sticks her head in between Maeve and Angela. Like pecks Angela in the cheek.
It's just the big smiles. It's definitely not as much fangirl as it is just, oh hey, it's my friend. Good to see you out.
Yes, Daniel's taking me out for the evening.
Oh, good.
So, I hope you two are enjoying yourselves.
We absolutely are. I glance over to Angela, like,
Oh yeah, Angela does a little like, oh yes. You know what I mean? That little, you know. Oh yeah, no, I'm definitely enjoying myself. But we'll talk later, okay?
Mhm.
I got some news for you. She just gives you her hand, like an arm or squeeze, and then we'll immediately like give Angela the hug in front of everybody, as well as Maeve, you know.
no.
And Daniel just passes by, you know, taking Fiona's arm. Lady Maeve.
Lord Daniel.
It's a nice dress. Yeah, eases past.
It's very nice suit.
Thank you.
This is a bit of the grin. Let him get away.
Yeah, they go and they introduce themselves to Silverfangs, and but then go and sit down at their own table. Who Gabriel and his staff are like having a fucking like, they're nearly fainting at this point because Magdessa
Got fucking flowers and shit. Put them on the table.
move,
More
move, or you're
flowers.
fired. Do you know what I mean?
More. I will throw you back in the alley where I found you.
That's pretty much what he's like at the minute. You drop any of their glasses, you can get a new job. You know what I mean? What are you? You're an idiot sandwich.
Oh my god.
Oh god, now I can't unsee Gordon Ramsay as a silver fang. Thank you, Torna.
But you know, your main course is also served. You know, it's more. It's like mix of kebab, gyro. It's all that sort of. It's finger food. Like you can dip your hands in, grab it as well. It's fucking lovely. Angela has no etiquette at all, even as a noble lady. She has some, but with this, oh no, she stuffs her face. Makes no comments about it. Hannah does the polite, like looking at Keane, like, am I doing this right with the fork? You know, jabbing it.
He gives a approving nod, and you know what he'll actually do?
Mhm.
He'll mimic that gesture she did earlier.
You feed her food.
Mm. Why not? From some plate that she can't reach. If I don't look, he's not there. If I don't look, he's not there. If I don't look,
His
he's not
vision's
there.
based on movement.
Rory McTighe can't turn to Keen. Rory McTighe in his dreams. Keen! Ah! But the floor is yours. You can stay sitting talking. The Silverfangs, the Macnessa, and the MacTigue. This unlikely plucky foursome. Gabriel, Hannah, Ho.
Oh,
So the NPCs are there. The music is playing. The wine is good. So the floor is yours, and who you guys want to speak to, or talk amongst
Perfect.
yourselves.
Ian leaves.
Keen just
Oh
gets
my
up. I'm leaving.
He just gets up. This is a lovely meal. Thank you very much.
Just
I
like
have now
looking at Hannah
refueled
like-
my energy for the day.
Guess I'm your date, Hannah.
And it's like, you get back here, you slut.
Oh my god. Yeah. Connor's
way,
trying to
yeah,
eat with his etiquette score. An arduous task with finger food, but doable. He's also minorly distracted given the amount of wine that he's imbibed. With just like fucking Flappies over there going full Gordon Ramsay.
Bowing every time he comes near the Mac test. That's the table, like, lords and ladies.
Wow.
A frying pan comes flying out the fucking kitchen door. It's fucking raw.
Most stress cook of all time in the background.
120% stress cook.
But yes, no, the floor is yours. Proceed.
I'm assuming it's more of a. I'm guessing they're not like really sat at the table much more, just taking in the atmosphere, almost like cocktail party.
Yeah, kind of. It's kind of it
Yeah.
kind of switches into that. Like people are eating and stuff,
Yeah.
but kind of switches into that vibe. That
A buffet kind of.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
No. Otherwise, I'm thinking of how Kian would just go, I'm going to leave this table now, and just as you're pulling the chair away. Just go over to somebody else.
Scooching over awkwardly.
Do you think they would let us put the table? Actually, Kian being Kian would just take a moment while things are being changed. People are standing up. Someone's moving to get a new drink. Food is being shared. Unless Hannah seems extremely unwilling, take just a breather out on what I guess is the balcony for the view
Oh,
of the.
she will totally do that. If you offer it to her, yeah, she'll totally do it.
Connor watches Kian and Hannah leave. And then rotates back, and it's like Maeve. Oh, Maeve. And Angela.
Hello. Angela just leans over to Maeve. Those two are fucking adorable.
Yep, Maeve just glanced over and just like, I know, right? Who'd have thought?
P's gonna be jealous.
Is he?
Nah, he'll be happy. She's happy.
That's kind of what I figured.
He's a big softy like that.
He is a big softy like that. At least when it comes to her. I don't know about the rest of the time.
Oh yeah, no. She just gives a shrug like, oh yeah.
And to the credit of various etiquette score abuse or use, it's finger food. Maeve is not going to fucking go over the top with it. She's not going to pull like a straight Angela, but I mean, she's going to eat the finger food like it's finger food. But yeah, as he turns back and they're kind of gossiping about how adorable that is, as the two of them walk off to have a little walkabout. So, how was your first impression, Connor?
Of
The only people you've spoken to who aren't sat at your table.
oh yes, Lord and Lady Magnessa. They certainly live up to what I've heard and more. It's always quite a different thing to be sat in front of the genuine article. Quite literally, in my case.
Just a curious glance over at Angela. Like, what'd you think of that?
She just heard a snort. He just heard a snort.
To be honest, this has been an extended reintroduction to a lot of things I'd either only heard of or had maybe briefly encountered in my youth. As I was telling you before, I've been to Ireland twice before now. Once as a very, very young boy, and another time for a family gathering when I wasn't much older. I doubt anyone in the house would even have remembered, not for any ill reason on their part, but I was just, another child underfoot.
I like to think that they're some of the most fondly remembered at large gatherings.
There are indeed some people who have that kind of fondness, yes. But when you're kind of in that middling point between a young man and someone in middle age, it can get a little tiring, I'm not gonna lie.
Tiring. Can't handle the parties.
At this point, like, it's no longer a sip when Angela does shit like this. Just goes through the rest of his glass. Like, And perhaps I'm shy. Just a touch.
You don't seem it. You've been chatting away for fucking hours. Smirking.
Be rather strange if I invited you all here and then simply sat mum.
Well, then you're not shy, are you? She gives a grin.
Over the pack link, please, dear God, Maeve, help the poor man.
I mean, surely you enjoy parties.
I'm-
I know family gatherings are a big to-do.
I mean, the nature of a party is to at least partially entertain.
Exactly.
I've known to enjoy celebrations in my time, yes.
Oh, how fancy. She does that. She takes a sip. Like smirking over. Seems very good humor.
Well, Perhaps you should come by the Coach and Horses sometime and reacquaint yourself with actually having some fun at party.
I would beat the English out of you.
Connor refills his glass.
Glug, 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 glug.
That your family is tied very closely to the McCarthys. You're gonna have to figure out how to handle a party.
Oh,
Yeah, Jesus.
believe me, I've been to many celebrations in my time. I can handle a party.
Oh, well. Then you won't be able, then you should be fine with our parties then. Isn't that right, Maeve?
Oh, absolutely. You can't quite call yourself a bannerman if you can't hold a banner.
There you go.
Well, good. I'll be watching.
I hope to impress.
Ah, well. Hopefully. Aside from the bowler hat.
I like the bowler hat.
Oh, that's all right.
Just glance over. Besides, Seamus always knows about parties before I do, and Kian's not really as much the partying type. So clearly,
Mm-hmm. You just had to Seamus doesn't know dick about parties. He only knows because he's fucking jiving around and he follows the fucking party. I'm the one, the party girl over here. She glances over like, excuse me.
I know.
I've yet to make the Lord O'Callahan's acquaintance.
Oh, you're not missing much. She gives a grin.
Scandalized. Angela.
What?
Just kind of like pouted just more. Well, it just means that the next time Angela lets me know there's a party, I'll have to, well, glancing over to Angela, assuming of course it's
I mean,
the charity kind. Make
you're
sure
friends
you
with
have-
You're friends with Albert. He has the craziest parties. When he
Mm.
throws them.
They are something. Just the whole flashbacks.
I usually get my info off Scarlet.
Still
Well.
wish you had it at least third hand. I feel like I'm more likely to hear it from you than from Albert. I'm not on the party call list.
Oh, that's because you blush.
Is it because I blush?
Yes,
Like,
'cause you
like, I'm
blush.
like, oh my god.
Yeah, it's because you blush. They're afraid if you turn up and she's doing her splits, you might faint.
I won't faint.
I'm sorry, doing her what?
Her splits. Scarlett is a very talented dancer. She likes to split.
Very talented woman.
About half the glass goes.
You know, if you keep
You're gonna need to roll stamina
something
soon.
scandalizing, you are going to end up broke just from the sheer volume of wine you're going to drink.
You have a point. Waiter, one of your whiskeys, please.
That just raises an eyebrow. You're not used to my family then, if you're Bannerhouse and unders, if you're drinking that heavy around a McCarthy. She winks.
My particular wing of the family's been somewhat removed in recent years.
Oh. Oh, wow. I pity your liver.
It's an acclimation process.
It's been quite a bit going on and an entire body of water, but I assure you we've seen after the family's interests across the channel.
Well, no better opportunity to reacclimate.
Indeed. He now is armed with whiskey. You can tell he's young because he thought this was a good idea.
Like, Angela, lean over. I'm going to go chat to Magna, alright? I'll be back in a bit. Just peck Maeve on the cheek.
Yeah,
She eases up and starts strutting over, like immediately waving at Magna, and like saying a load of half-down and all that, and kind of pouncing herself in the middle. She doesn't flip off fucking the MacTie, but she glares at her.
Look, that is some ace restraint from Angela.
No, she just plonks herself in the middle of the get with that little proud, like, you know what I mean? They're more friends with me than you.
Now he has the Macfion. Lady Maeve, I wanted to save this for a moment like this. It's I know it's a bit gauche to talk business in front of the kinfolk.
Oh?
Well, as you know, I'm a new arrival. I'm in the running for a pack, and being able to serve alongside one of such esteem as yourself or Lord McNamara, I would at least like the opportunity to come with you and yours, see what you're about, if you would even take a liking to me.
I don't see why we can't run together for a couple things.
Capital.
A bit of a smirk. Oh, though I dare say that is a habit you want to lose before you meet Groundwalk. Better switch your slang.
To what, pray tell?
Something a little more local.
I see.
I mean, a playful grin.
Sip. Hard alcohol sip.
So, she does finally, point over at the glass. Is that just... Is it because you like drinking that much, or is it the polite cover your face thing?
Both.
You could probably do that with tea without losing quite as much of your immediate senses.
But Lady Macfarlane, that's part of the point. Wasn't lying about being shy. I imagine I'd be half dead already if it wasn't for this.
Well, you compose yourself very well for someone who's shy.
I've had a great deal of training. We are doubly social animals, and one who isolates himself dies a very slow death.
Oh, why the shyness? What's the worst thing you think will happen?
Who knows?
Well, surely there's something that you're worried about. That's why most people hold back.
Might have some drinks in me, but this is still supposed to be a happy gathering. I'm not going to drag it down with my woes and worries.
Oh, I'm not trying to dig deeply into your woes and worries. I just didn't know if it was, thinking maybe they just wouldn't like you, or being afraid you'd get laughed at, or it could be anything. People are shy for all kinds of reasons.
It's the constant dread, isn't it? I mean, you know. You're from a great house, far greater than mine.
I still grew up on a farm.
You did, but you're also at court. I've seen you. Your work with the O'Callaghan's alone. Inspiring. No, that's always the worry that you'll say the wrong thing, commit some terrible faux pas, or, Gaia forbid, offend the wrong person.
Well, as someone who has made plenty of offenses since showing up here, doing almost nothing about how to navigate all this at the time, let me at least assure you that even if you say the wrong thing, or you do offend someone, an earnest apology and an explanation that you meant no harm goes a surprisingly long way. If the backlash was that bad, I wouldn't have all the friends I do, and I wouldn't have gotten as far as I have. I didn't have any official training. I didn't have tutors or anyone who told me all the important names.
Really?
No, I didn't. I was unknowing.
Oh, I see.
But the Sept is full of good people, and there is a certain amount of understanding as long as you don't say something grotesquely wrong that you should know better. You can make things right even if you make them wrong. It's not a one-way ticket to a bad end with a whole family name.
Look, as someone who was trained in a traditional fashion, house and clan mean everything. Of course, I wouldn't want to commit some sort of embarrassment. It doesn't just reflect on me, does it?
It doesn't?
I mean,
Well, if I might make a suggestion then, something that'll help you feel more comfortable. If the people that you are most worried about reflecting on are at least around here the McCarthys, why don't you spend some time with them? Kate loves having help in the kitchen. Fionn is a very, very fine girl. And Angela, as much as you seem to have fun being scandalized by, is a very, very good person. She's just forward. And I love it about her. She didn't mess me around when I first came here. She was always straightforward.
from all appearances, she is an honorable and true member of House McCarthy, your chosen mate, and a respectable kin of the Sept. Drinks whiskey.
You know, I'm getting a hang for this whole drinks whiskey to avoid saying an awkward thing or making an awkward face.
It is the foundation of English society.
We're in Ireland.
Fuck.
Finally, the grin. You should be drinking when you're happy. When you need a distraction, not a cover up. You know the grain is one of Stack's proof.
Hmm?
A little leaning. She's all about celebration and muddling the senses. Not about hiding.
Kind of blinks to himself after the last sip. I'm certainly under a bit of a muddling if I just said fuck in front of a Macphion. Don't think I kept track of how much I've been drinking.
We're not exactly at court. We're out having dinner and talking like people, like people do with their submates or their friends.
What got me was the line about the between the legs. I nearly died right there.
Crack of a smile. I'm pretty sure she used to say those things just to see how pink I'd turn.
Oh, thankfully I'm so pale you'd never be able to tell.
There's a lean in and a squint.
Hmm?
She says maybe she's checking to see if you're a blusher and then leans in to do the squint like, are you?
No.
It's a shame. She'd love that.
No, I haven't blushed since I was 16 years old. It was the last one.
Oh, you
Like
just
an orchid
stopped.
blooming.
Oh, wow. Just food for thought. You don't have to use the same kind of social conventions that you were taught in a completely different place. The McCarthys are the most social people here, and they're the ones you're tied to.
Oh, you would
Spend some
never
time
have
with them.
believed it. The endless tutors. I didn't even learn all their names. Just like
Right.
here's a new person to teach you this new aspect of your life, and this one, and this one, and this one. I'm mostly a new tutor, so I only got to know other
Reaches
people.
over and sets the hand on his, like, first off, to pin the glass down. Like, hey, you're not there anymore. You're here. You don't need to use fancy courses to just talk to people on set or at dinner. This isn't a formal event. It's not. I could understand being nervous if it was something that was extremely formal and the wrong word could move a mountain, but we're just
I can see you, Torna.
so. There's not nearly as much need to be shy when the whole point is to be interacting with and meeting people. And even if you make a mistake and you put your foot in your mouth, even if someone points it out, you can always fix it. I've stuck my foot in my mouth plenty of times.
Don't you? Or have been calculating.
Stop calculating and just talk.
There are a lot of big names here. I mean, do you know how big a deal the Von Premonts are?
Right? But do you... Well, with the Von Premonts, it's probably a better idea to make a good stiff first impression. Because that is how you were raised to talk to and with Silverfangs. But with the rest of us, we'd rather see who you are than how long a stick you can put up your ass in the first meeting.
So Maeve, like the entire time, like he at least tries to put on some thin version of a smile or something more genial. Turns to face you. His face just goes slack. You of all people know exactly who I am. And then he's back to how he was 2 seconds ago.
Oh, that was uncomfortable and jarring. And with that, I'll let a camera swap happen so that we're not hogging the
Yeah, we've been going for a minute.
Well, Keen, you've taken your date out to the balcony.
What, me? Yeah. Keen is just narcolepsy, falling asleep, standing up. I'm joking. Anyway, yes, waves, beautiful pitch black skies with beautiful dangling stars.
No,
You feel
there's nice like ambient lighting outside as well. It's nice. So I'm just kind of standing there beside you, like awkwardly, like kind of playing with her hands.
I hope you're enjoying yourself.
Oh, I am. It's just very jarring. A lot of noise.
If you ever wish to leave, just say the word.
Are you enjoying yourself?
It's been nice. I admit.
The cat just looks off. I noticed you smiled.
Did I?
Mm-hmm.
You sort of. I really, really have to get rid of sorta from my vocabulary. I say it way too often. He doesn't sort of put his hand on the railing. He puts his hand on the railing, looking down.
He itches his fingers onto the railing.
And there goes my electricity. Beautifully, wonderful. I need to buy more. Give me a sec. Yes, he puts his hand on the railing, gazes into the distance, I'm guessing the sound of waves crashing can be heard.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I love that sound. It was. It looks confused almost for a second. It felt good to be seen. To hear someone say McNamara with pride. Glances towards Hannah as he says that, and I'm going to try and roll another P&E. Nice.
Oh, 2. Or you can tell she's watching. Like she's, when you say, but she kind of adopts a kind of a small smile on her face. Kind of just wrings her hands a bit nervously. It's almost like her demeanor can change subtly. You can see she just looks down at her hands as she rings it, but looks up at you as well. Her eyes seem a bit more blue in the light.
That is a very nice dress. Fiak help you with it?
No,
Says bemusingly.
no. It was, my mother's.
Face drops a little.
She wore it a few times, and I thought it would fit the occasion.
He actually reaches out a hand to her fidgeting hands.
Oh yeah, you take them, and they kind of just fidget around yours. It's like you have now become part of the thing she fidgets on. You know what I mean?
I'm absolutely certain that if she saw you, she'd say the fit would be gorgeous.
It took a lot coming out here.
I'm sure it did.
Maeve McFionn always does bring the company I like, aside from Fiat.
She has a nearly unnerving, canny ability to do so. Truly a mediator.
Keen. She just says very softly, like her voice is very mousy compared to Hannah's normal, like, this wouldn't call it sultry. It's just normally very quick. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Very bubbly. This is mousy.
He sort of looks up when she says that. Again, sort of. No, he looks up when she says that.
Turns his head around like an owl.
Look how calm she is. Boing. No. You know exactly what video I was referencing.
Yep. Exactly.
No, he's been he kind of looked down on her hands, and when she says Kian, he looks up.
If I look up, will you show me your eyes?
If that is what you want.
I'd like to try.
Okay.
Okay, and how close do you get to Hannah?
I'd say they're about. I mean, he was holding her hands,
Mm-hmm.
but there's definitely about oh god, I'm bad with measurements. With a meter?
Mm-hmm. Like, how close are you
Yeah.
putting like your face to her so she can like properly look into your eyes? And how clear are you
No,
making?
he isn't.
How clear are you making your eyes visible, like in the light? Because if you look up, it's dark. You know what I mean?
He doesn't step any closer. No. And no, he doesn't get any closer, but there's a bit of wind, fair bit of wind, especially this close to the ocean, that will swipe some of the hair away from his face. And that's about it. But there's not a comforting squeeze of her hands. It's encouraging and comforting. Not rough at all.
So when her eyes train up and meet yours, okay, and you see it, there's that second where like the bottom part of her lip kind of quivers a bit, gazing into the signature eyes.
Mm. It's when that happens that he gives it another squeeze. Sort of to ground her. That she can feel that she is here in this moment, nowhere else. You're safe.
Oh, you can see it. Her hands are holding yours, and O'Keen.
Oh,
Like, I'll put it like this: she's doing her best, but I mean, you can see it. She is wilting underneath your eyes. Like, if you weren't holding her, she would probably actually collapse down onto her knees.
and with that, Kian will look down again, looking towards her hands. He holds them firmly.
You can hear her breathing, the rapid kind of like in, out, in, out.
Yeah.
I'm
You're so much stronger than people believe.
not. They said conquer the fear, so.
And you will. You will.
You're not mad at me?
No. No, of course not.
They said you killed the tower. Just like whispers. Almost like a ghost, nearly.
He takes a inhale. Still hasn't let go of her hands. And he nods as a response.
Thank you.
I did not do it alone.
No, but thank you.
Gives the hands another sec. You're welcome, Lily McGowan.
She kind of like sucks in a breath. Then her head just straightens. Yes, thank you, Keen.
Polite nod. And
We
he
Yeah, she just
Hmm?
interlocks her arm with yours and just says, "We are very happy."
Then I am very happy. And he looks back to the I hate myself for doing this, but the very nice atmosphere of the restaurant turned into kind of a, well, for lack of a better word, Elysium.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just dial up the cheese and the ham. Does it look at any all accommodating for dancing?
It does actually.
Of course it does. Couldn't have saved me there, could you, buddy? No.
No, you rolled into this path. You would.
Yeah, I know. Would you mind terribly for a dance?
Not at all. I'm the dancer. Jane is flat-footed, and you've already wooed Ashley, so come on.
In his mind, wait, of what?
What? She's just leading you in.
Too late, you're dancing. So, with those two doing that, he will look at Maeve. You know, I dare say your mate would never forgive you if you didn't take her hand right now.
She'll take a glance back to Angela just to see how things are getting on, or if she's perked up with the music.
Oh, the music definitely, but she's giggling with Magna. Halfdan and this girl are talking. Eve has gotten up and eased over to some of the it's kind of filtering in and out now. She's gone over to say hello to Rory and Sonia, and Fiona and the Silver Fangs are just politely watching. But Angela's sitting with the Get, who are clapping their hands because you know what? They see Keen and Hannah go onto the dance floor. You just like they're like nudging each other, like
Oh my god, hold on, I need to see how Rory is looking.
No. Impossible. No, Rory is going to outdo Keen because fuck you, McNamara. He just leans over to Sonia. Does the gets on one knee and everything.
Of course he does.
You see, it's beginning. You gotta get a head start.
Van's just clapping her hands, nudging fucking Magna, pointing as well, I'll put it like this, Keen, and Hannah's dancing with you.
I feel like the silence is not pretty suited.
Dun dun dun.
How's Kian feeling on the dance floor? This is amazing.
Honestly, I'm glad I'm not the only one.
Actually, I got a song for this. Yeah, no, I've got
do-
way
do-
better.
Do I roll, Torna?
Yeah, if you got performance,
I do have performance, and I'm spending a willpower dot because it's important
it.
not to mess it up for her.
there you go. The second link I linked.
I've learned that I get them back at the end of the day, so I don't have to fucking sparing about this shit anymore.
Burn, baby, burn.
There we go. Come on, come on, come on. Please tell me. Ooh, 4 successes.
Oh, Keen, you know what? You got the moves. You got the jive. You make a very good showing of yourself.
Yes. Got that moves like Jagger. Mick
Keen,
Jagger.
Keaton does the jive dance with Hannah on the dance floor, and now people are like, you hear they get, way! Do you know what I mean?
All right, if there's already like 2 couples up there,
Go, I'm useless if it's not like a ball or something.
don't tempt me to throw you under the bus. Don't tempt me.
Actually, you know what? They'll break out the traditional music as well. Because like Gabriel's like, shit, they're wanting to dance. That means we get the McNamara up there. Quick.
Just looks at please, Raya. I am a terrible dancer.
Half Dan asks Eve to dance. She says no. He's like, fuck.
That's who Eve?
Eve, yeah. Just walked up like, and she just denies me.
Got
Shit,
fucking
goes
Max
back up.
snubbed.
Max snubs. He goes, sits down. Magna pats him on the shoulder. I just burst out laughing.
The only woman worth dancing with is one who can deny it.
The priest? Yeah, she dances.
Does she even bother getting a partner? Or does she say fuck it?
She fucking just hops up, especially when the traditional Irish music gets up. She hops up herself, kicks off her fucking shoes, and hitches up her dress.
Woo! Yep. You can only go so long. Go over and give Van to the little tap. May I?
Oh, she does the excuse me, Magna. Excuse me, half done. I have to dance with my girlfriend. Slides out.
The best part is I know Angela's better than I am.
Oh yeah.
But no, do it for the fun. Especially after someone's already like kicked off their shoes. Thank God she can take her shoes off for this. She won't hitch the skirts up. She wears more practical things than that. It's not too long, but she will absolutely step out of the shoes and dance with Angela.
Meanwhile, Fiona's just clapping, looking over at Daniel, and he just gives a shrug. It's that type of like, I am fucking dead. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, Daniel, don't be no fun.
So what's Keen? You make a pretty good showing of yourself that gives you like the beaming smile. The Get meanwhile give you the thumbs up, like get in there. Like Half Dan just does the the gesture with his fingers, like put it in. Do you know what I mean?
Good thing he got 4 successes, because that immediately knocks off one of the successes in terms of his grades.
The priest, oh yeah, she starts jigging and jiving. Eve MacTyke sits down. Rory does the dramatic spins in with Sonia. It's actually surprising because Rory is actually, he's so rigid, but this, on the dance floor, oh yeah, no.
Can I see Fiona being like, "Oh, come on"?
Yeah, Daniel, like, oh, do you know what I mean?
So during one of the breaks between songs, I'm not even gonna feel bad about this because I know those two way too well. And she'll make a brief walk over to just have a polite word with the Magnesses because we're all in polite company here. But when she leans down, what she says instead, teasingly over to Daniel is, "Every party needs a pooper. That's why they invited you." Smile at him.
And it does this good-natured, like, you'd all lose to me anyway, so I'm sorry, Lady Macfriend. I don't wish to embarrass you.
I'll have you know I'm perfectly adept at embarrassing myself.
Wow. He kind of just gestures on that. They did that, like, well, don't let me stop you. You know what I mean? That smirk. Meanwhile, Fiona's just like, well, I'm dancing. You know what I mean?
Good. Mabel straight offer her hand up, like, "Come on, we're just gonna have a girls' dance over here because someone wants to be a party pooper." Get Fiona in on this.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, she totally will hop up. You can totally join the priest and Angela.
Yes.
Meanwhile, the Silverfangs are politely, Emma seems actually quite delighted by this display. Fiona even seems more relaxed, and Oleg Schulig just kind of just leans back and just pours himself another vodka and goes, oh boy, here they go.
I'm Oleg.
And I'm Oleg.
Okay.
Ooh.
Maybe it's time for some daring do. Say Eve MacTyke kind of went off to do her own thing. Like, what's she doing
She's
over
just
there?
sitting at one of the tables. Like, Halfdan slid over, like, hello. But she was like, no. Like, all right. Just dived back over to his sister.
Damn.
Cold as ice when she did it. Just, no.
How terrifyingly arousing. Connor thinks. Connor thinks harder. Connor drinks more whiskey and stops thinking. He'll head over to the table with the Irish people and the Vikings. He's not ready for Silverfangery yet.
Oh, you can hear as you wander over. He's like, I almost had it, Agna. There's a hefty swig. I almost had it, Magna. I'm not answering back. That means you think you justified and think you could get it. Shit. He just looks down at the glass. And, the priest eventually sits back down. You didn't have it. Fuck! But you can totally plonk yourself down near the table and listen to the Vikings argue about how he almost had it. Almost.
Yeah, he just finds himself able to integrate into this table. It's like, the fuck? I'm here. Did we have a plan past getting here? We didn't have a plan past getting here. Well, damn it, Brain. Come up with something. What is there to do? The Vikings are yelling a lot. So I'll turn to the nearest person because those two are in the creamy center. And hilariously, the nearest person's Eve MacTyke.
Oh.
Hello.
Where is it? There she is. Evening. It's just Rory. Ah!
I don't believe I've had the pleasure before. Connor Walsh.
Eve MacTyke.
Lovely to meet you.
Lovely to meet you. She just takes a sip of the drink she's drinking.
Surprisingly good weather this evening.
Adequate.
At the very least, a moment without rain.
Good, just glances over like me.
How are you finding the party this evening?
She kind of looks around, like, takes a big long swig of her drink. Oh, it's acceptable. People are, of course, socializing and pretending like everything is how it is. So, what you? It's quite the norm for me, really. And you?
Say it's quite idyllic. Entire point of the exercise, if you ask me.
It serves its purpose.
As all gatherings should.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, especially for someone as new as me to see this many faces, names, introduce myself.
Oh, you're new?
Quite.
Hmm.
Why, I only entered the SEP ground some 3 days past.
Well, I hope you can carry yourself.
Hope's nice, but I assure you, I am one capable of carrying myself.
Just not.
It's like a part of me at this moment, like, Halfdan never had this, and I don't even know Halfdan.
Oh, she's just cool, collected, calm. No, Halfdan never had this.
Never, ever.
But you can hear him. I had it! I almost smacked
You
it.
still hear him? So out of all the gatherings here, I'd say the one to our left's the most interesting.
Go on, so like our eyes trail over to what he's suggesting. What are you pointing at?
I mean, he's not pointing at them, Jesus Christ. But, like, hey, guys. I mean,
Waves over a kid. Hello.
don't tell me you aren't at least a little curious about the members of Falcon's Brood circling each other.
Prey animals often do like to frolic among what they perceive to be prey.
Why?
They forget that they are not in their kingdom anymore, they're in ours. So let them feign regality. Why should I worry? A stag doesn't need to fear something in its own kingdom.
Dare say a stag never knew fear to begin with.
And so what is there to be worried about? It's just pompous people making pompous gestures of forgotten power.
Well, it's a party after all. Pomp and circumstance are, well, at least a part of it.
It's just shrugs.
Something tells me you're not very interested in pomp or circumstance.
Not without strength behind it.
Tell me, are you looking for strength or just projecting it?
Now, why would I tell you that? I've only just met you.
Lots
Like
of people
our-
do things on the lark.
She just like turns her full gaze and her full attention onto you now. Do I look like just any one individual, Mr. Walsh?
You're quite distinguished.
Compliments get into my pants aside. Do I look like any one individual?
No. But you certainly look like an individual.
I am.
indisputably.
Why did you doubt that I would?
You stating something aloud doesn't equate to doubt.
But
Oh. Some people put curiosity ahead of attention, but you had both when I saw you. Had to come over to see to whom I might speak. You didn't disappoint.
Well, I'm glad my strength is what you can take away.
Were we all but so lucky?
True. But aside from mysterious dull tones designed to feign pomp and circumstance to the right Silverfang, she glances over. I am Lady Mattig. I do not care for such things.
I don't suppose you tell a complete stranger what you do care for, on a lark.
You have to earn that. Unfortunately, my legs don't spread easily. Nor does my tongue.
As is your right.
She glances over. It's like a sidelong smirk. And would you have it any other way?
Never.
Then don't look so glum. Otherwise, you're not worth the challenge.
So what are the other guys doing? Because I can't think of a better time to switch cameras.
You know what? If nothing else, with all the girl dancing going on, Emma seems excited. And you know what? Maeve hasn't met Emma for more than a very fleeting moment, but the poor girl's been through a lot. And when you've got it's her, it's Angela, it's Fiona, it's just none of the pressure of dance with the right person because Chick's here.
Shaking that moneymaker.
You know what?
That's what Kian's doing.
Okay, I will make another brief detour out. With a polite nod to Fiona because, well, hey, Fiona.
Yeah, she just gives the nod.
She'll come over and just, make sure she makes the appropriate greetings all around. But I had a thought, and I thought I'd see if it's all right with you, of course, and if you're actually interested, if you wanted to join us.
Yeah, she kind of... Oleg kind of leans back with a smirk on his face. She'll glance over to Fiona, and Fiona just sounds, go ahead. I'll talk with Uncle Oleg. Yeah, and Emma looks genuine, like, shoots up.
Maybe we'll bring her back to the girl party.
You guys could totally bring her in.
Yes.
So, would you guys like to end it there after all the pompadour and dancing and drinking?
You didn't have anything else?
Keen!
I knew you'd like that.
Wait.
What?
Oh, he doesn't realize
What?
It's scene's still going, Raz. Do you want to do anything else before we close it up?
No, I said no.
Oh, I
Oh.
couldn't hear you. All right, well,
Oh.
I'm just going to
I'm down. I'm down.